It's picnic season.
That means that it's picnic blanket season.
Oh, and what better than a 3-yard quilt?
Keep watching.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And John also with Fabric Cafe.
We've got a great show today. We're making all of these plans for the summer.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, and you need quilts for all different kinds of occasions. Maybe you want to still a little crispy at night and you want to sit on the porch and admire that spring garden that you put in.
Or maybe you're going camping up in the mountains or something like that where it does get a little bit cooler at night. You know, a 3-yard quilt could be perfect for that.
Mm-hmm. And you know how much I like the beach? And a quilt is the perfect thing to take down to a beach because you put that beach towel down and you sit down and it gets all crinkled up and the sand starts crawling. It just crawls up on top of that. But with a quilt, it's a little more weighted. So I think we've got a lot of great quilts to show them for lots of occasions.
Or maybe here's another idea. I had the opportunity to go to summer camp in Minnesota in early June. Well, in Minnesota, it's still pretty cool up there. Maybe it would have been cool to have packed a 3-yard quilt for that. So if you got grandkids that are going to summer camp.
Well, let's get started. Okay, the first one is Checkmate. Now, Checkmate is one of those super simple, quick and easy patterns that we are always talking about because we know that in the summertime, you want to hurry up, get the quilt made so you can get out there for those outdoor activities. So let's put this one on the table. Now remember what I just said about sitting on the porch and admiring your garden? I put in a new grass gardens, all these different decorative grasses, and it's just so pretty, and I keep walking by and looking at it and sitting on the porch and looking at it.
She did so good with that. It looks great.
So this just reminds me of looking at this gorgeous garden type fabric, and I can see it because it's still a little bit cool at night whenever you're on the side of the lake. I mean, somehow it just kind of stays a little cooler than it does in the middle of the concrete jungle. This is going to be our number 1 fabric, and it'll be the focal, which is the width of the fabric. And remember I said easy? And that's exactly what you do. You put a big strip for the width of the fabric here. And then you make something super simple called a 4-patch. And that is what you're going to have here for number 2 and
that's
number
such
3.
Cute fabric.
Isn't that precious? I love it. So this would be a great one to use on a sun porch or even an open porch that you might be sitting on it beside your gardens and looking out and enjoying that crispy evening air. Now look at this image that we have on the screen. I love this one. I just really am a flower person, I guess.
And I love how all the horizontal stripe of those flowers are in there and that nice big block on the Checkmate pattern. It's so nice.
And then of course, being a green person that I am, I love green. I love the way it borders this out. Now this one is called Handpicked Bouquet. It's 802310. It's the Checkmate pattern from Quilts for Kids.
So our next pattern that we have up is Favorite Things, and this is just a really neat design on this one. And because it is one of those double focus. So let's put that up on the table and take a look at this one.
This is making me thirsty.
Oh, this is
great. For a big,
great.
tall glass of lemonade.
I know so many of us always, get lemon in our water at restaurants and things like that. Or, it is that summer picnic time. We always take lemonade with us. I know, either having just straight lemonade or, the classic Arnold Palmer. That's, 50-50 lemonade and tea. It's a great one for that. Okay, so this is a really fun one with all of these lemons and all of the green that's in this one. So we've got our first fabric that's going to be in here. Everywhere that our white gingerbread, shall we call this a half snowball?
Sure. So you might want to explain why it's a half snowball, though.
Well, normally a snowball would have all 4 corners cut off of it. In this situation, we just have 2 of those corners cut off. So it's, or maybe this would be a football.
I think you're the first person I ever heard call it a half snowball. I loved it.
Hey, we're going to start a new trend in the quilting industry. This is a half snowball. So we've got that. So our lemons are going to be here where our white gingerbread background is. And then we've got this neat little, just a nice tone-on-tone white on this one. That's going to be everywhere that our backgrounds are so that these half snowballs are really going to pop off this fabric nicely. And then we've got the great lemon flowers that are on this. So
that's so cool.
That is really a neat one. That's going to be everywhere that our dark background is on this gingerbread, and also be out here on the borders. I think this is a neat one. We're putting fabric 1 and fabric 3 on the borders on this one. So that's a really neat design on this one. So we've got just a adorable image on screen for you to see this one, so you can see how those lemons are just in there, and it just looks so lemony and luscious and everything. Perfect for that picnic.
I think it's funny how the block, the half snowball block, looks like a lemon.
That is true.
I thought that was so fun. I never thought of it looking like a lemon whenever it was designed, but it is.
That's great.
Okay, well, I was wanting to tell you about the fact that most of these quilts are limited. So the quantity is limited. So if you see something you really like, you want to rush over there and order it right away.
Perfect. So this kit number is 8023211. It's called Sweet Lemonade. It is using that Favorite Things pattern from the Make It Christmas book. So there's a great example of us using those Christmas designs for a different non-Christmas fabric. And an alternate that we have for this is called Dash.
Now this one I really like. It's called Kaleidoscope, and we pick out the fabric, and then it's several weeks before we get the quilt back from the model maker, and then we loved it. But when we sent it out to the long arm quilter, we love what she did on this one. Let's put it on the table and take a closer look. I don't see how you can get any better. We're speechless.
We're speechless. I mean, I love batiks. I mean, they're probably one of my favorite fabric style. And I mean, what says summer better than a great snow cone? I mean, we've got a little snow cone stand that's just a couple of blocks from my house, and there's always just this mile-long line of people in there with all the moms and the kids full of cars on the weekends getting snow cones. It's just hilarious to see that.
Well, this does look like a snow cone, doesn't it? And it's very summertime pleasing to me.
It is.
So the number one fabric is going to be the strawberry ice.
That's great.
That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Or maybe it's watermelon.
Oh, it could be. It could be raspberry.
That's true.
But that's going to be the red batik right here. And then we have the limeade lemon flavor here. It's going to go right here in the number 2 spot. And then what would life be like without a rainbow snow cone?
Snow cones always are best when you get them in rainbow.
So this goes here in the border, and I love this quilt for this fact because it gives you a really nice big wide border on the outside with the numbers 1 and 2 fabrics used on the center to make that great design. But I love, love, love this quilting, and I'll just go ahead and show you what we have on the back and see if you can see a little more of that quilting. Isn't that awesome?
I love the quilting design that she used on this one. It's just a great geometric to go along with all of the kind of the modern style of this design. It's really neat.
Right. I love it. Now this one is called Sweet Snowcone. It's 8023160, and it is the Kaleidoscope pattern, which is only available as an individual.
Okay, our next one is called Wandering Way, and this one has so much movement in it with all of these boxes and the overlap looking and the style of this. So let's put this one up on the table and look at this a little bit closer. Okay, so like I said, this one has a lot of movement in it, and I think that this is probably one of my favorite designs out of that book. We always have our favorite. I know we like to hear which one's y'all's favorite. So this was one of my favorites just because of all of the movement that was in this one. So we've got a great kit to go into this. We've got this just beautiful blue sea glass that's going to be in here, and that's going to be everywhere that our boxes are in here, and also out here on the border and the binding on this one. So it's going to be a really just striking look. And then we have this wonderful sea dollar fabric, or sand dollar. There we go, sand dollar. I can get the half snowballs, but I can't say sand dollars. But we've got the sand dollars in here. That's going to be everywhere in the background to really get this design to pop and just give us some great contrast with this. And then we've got just this great rich sea green on for our number 3 fabric, and that's going to be everywhere that we've got our purple in our quilt here. So that's going to just really just look awesome for us.
Well, you are not the only one that likes quilts in a jiffy, because we love hearing from the viewers, and you give us comments and suggestions and ideas, and we listen. And we do have a viewer, Donna Story, who suggested that we redo all of Quilts on the Jiffy with new quilts so you can see how these patterns make up. Now, I love the idea. It'll take us just a little bit of time, but we're going to do that. And if you have great ideas, we hope you'll put them in our comments section.
Great idea. Thanks, Donna, for that suggestion. So let's take a look at an image on this one. And as you see, this is just such a striking quilt with the great little sand glasses in there that those blues and the sand dollars and all this great aqua colors that are in there. This is just going to be a really striking design. So this one is called 8023212. It's called Beach Walk, and that is using the Wandering Way from the Quilts on the Jiffy book. And we've got a suggestion of an alternative pattern called Jacob's Ladder.
Next up is the Liberty pattern. Now, when we introduced this book, I made a confession that in the book, this one was my favorite pattern. I love this pattern, and this one is done by Fran Morgan, and I just think it is awesome. So let's put it on the table. I'm going to show you some new fabric for this one. Now, this is a great place to tell you about how we can put any fabric in any position as long as you cut what we tell you to do on that. Now, in this particular one, we have the red floral right here as our focus fabric. But when we make our decisions, we try to pick out what we think might look best with the fabrics we're using. And we're using these great grunge fabrics here. And we decided we wanted this dark navy blue to be in the center section. So use a little bit of imagination for just a minute, and then we're going to show you an image that will really play up how this is going to look.
And this is such a great fabric with those blues and that metallic gold in there.
I love it. It just looks like we put some paint on there and just kind of scraped it off a little bit and made it gorgeous. So this is going to go in this section. And then we're going to take our number 2 fabric, and there are really very kind of toned back or scaled back stars on this. This is the same type of star as on the red, the number 3.
Great.
And so it gives you more interest in that number 2 fabric here, but it's not overwhelming because you need that light in order to see this awesome star that Fran created on this quilt.
This is going to be awesome.
Now, our number 3 fabric is the star here, and that's going to be everywhere you see the blue. So see how we reverse the color placement with the red and the blue, because we wanted this to play up in that number 3 position. Now look at this image on the screen. Is that not just awesome?
That is absolutely gorgeous.
I love how those stars are shining in the red, and I love how that gold background, it almost looks like it's the sky.
It's great.
Yeah, I love that one.
Keep in mind, this is from our new book called Make It Patriotic. So if you haven't had an opportunity to see that, go up and check out that video that we've got here on our YouTube channel, and you're going to really like to see all of the patterns from that.
Absolutely. Now this one is called Star Spangled. It's 8023170. Liberty is the name of the pattern. It's from the book Make It Patriotic, but an alternate pattern is called Courage.
So our next pattern is Landslide, and this is one of those really quick designs that Donna, I believe, has designed this one. It's a great one because we've got a nice big block in it, and we've got this really great half square triangle. This is a great half square triangle, kind of a starter kit if you wanted to look at getting into those half square triangles. So let's put that up on the table and take a look at that. Okay, so we've got this just absolutely adorable fabric with these frogs on it.
They make me smile.
They do. And I always get the frogs, it seems like. I think it's a guy thing or something. But we've got these great frogs in here, and they're going to be everywhere on our big block in here. So we're going to have that nice big block of our frogs in there. And after all, summer activity is going out and catching frogs, right? And turtles and bugs and all of those things. So, and then our number 2 fabric is this great blue, and that's going to be everywhere that our triangle is here with those multi-colored dots that we've got in there. And then our number 3 is going to be this same color, or different color wave, but same design on that fabric. Is going to be everywhere here where our blue buttons were on this design.
You know, the coloration in this quilt really is like the habitation areas of frogs.
It is, and,
yeah.
I love how we were able to find the fabrics to it's bringing out all of these colors in the frogs and all of this.
I love it.
So let's take a look at the image on this, and you can just see how those frogs are just, pardon the pun, hopping off of the kit. And so, you can just see how this is just really great. And like I said, this is a great design for one of those first time, experimenting with those half square triangles, because it's a big, quick, and easy half square triangle. So this is a great one to start dabbling in that new block type. So the kit information on this one is 8023213, and it is called Be Hoppy, and it's using that Landslide pattern from the Quilts in a Jiffy book. And we've got the alternate pattern suggestion of Town Square, which would be a great design for you.
Well, I don't know about you, but it's gotten me in the mood for some summertime activity. Are you doing anything
definitely.
special this year?
So I think one of my big things I'm going to do this summer is I want to redo a couple of my flower beds on my house, and get in there and do that. And who knows, maybe I'll have a little time to do some quilting in the evenings.
Well, I have moved out to the lake, and so I have a very full schedule of wonderful friends and family coming to see me.
Especially like our 4th of July thing, where the whole family gets together and we just have a great day of it.
And they have a beautiful fireworks. But what about you? What are you doing for the summer? Let us know in the comments.
Well, so this has been John Nossel
And Donna Robertson, thanks for watching.